Studio. I would appreciate if you can like and subscribe and leave any video recommendations down in the comment section. Be sure to check out my website s15studio.com where I have courses on Revit and AutoCAD. I'm currently running a 50% off sale on my Revit course, beginner to advanced level, so be sure to check that out before it expires. So we're going to continue on with our project, and we're going to open up our ground floor plan. First thing we're going to do is add in structural openings to our project. So I'm coming up to the top end here. So a structural opening will create an opening within the wall, and there will not be a door in place of it. So it allows us to freely move between the rooms. The structural opening is part of the door family. So in order to bring it into the project, we first must go to our door tool. We'll then go to load family. And it can either live in two locations. One would be in the doors folder. There's structural. Or you can have an openings folder. And in there, you'll also have the opening door for the structural opening. I'm going to go to the doors family, go to structural and choose the door opening that way. I'll then press open, put it in place. And once it's loaded into our project, we can then come back and create our own type to match the opening that we desire. So what I'm going to do is come up to the quick access panel, choose measure between 2 points. And between those two walls, we have exactly 1000 millimeters. And we just need to create our type to match that. So we'll select our door opening, go to edit type, duplicate. I'm going to rename that. (1000 by 2100 millimeters). Press OK. We'll then come down to our dimensions. We have rough opening. Change that over to 1000 and 2100. Press OK. So there's our structural opening in place. So now we didn't cut out the wall itself, we just place an opening in, so we're able to freely walk through. And those dashed lines indicate that this isn't a complete opening, that there is a wall above it. So when the builder on site was going to construct this building, they'll see that dashed line that will indicate that there is a wall above that opening. Next, we're going to add in a structural opening to this section here. So again, we'll select it, create similar, and place it in. Just make sure that it is in the correct location. If it's not, you can either use your arrow keys or select it, move, and move it into place. We're going to add in another structural opening here, but there's currently no wall for us to place that. So I'm going to select this wall, drag it over and attach, then come back, select the structural opening, create similar, and just pop it in place. We want to extend this opening to the total width of that corridor. So we'll go to our measure tool and it's 1250. So we'll select it, edit type, duplicate, remove the 2, make that 1250. And same in our rough width, press OK. And we just need to place it into the final position using the move tool. So now we have a structural opening at this point, here, and at the top. Next, we're going to add in, we have a deck in the back. We're going to add in another deck here in the middle of the house where we have our double doors exiting to the back garden. So we'll do the same as we've done before, and we can select our deck. If we can't select it, we'll turn on select element by face down in the bottom right hand corner. We then select the deck, create similar, and we're now in the create floor boundary. And I'm just going to use my rectangle tool, attached to the corner of the external wall to the bottom left hand corner there. Green tick to finish. So if I go to my 3D view, there's the beginning of our deck. I'll go back into my ground floor. And we want to place the step on the ground level. So I'll open up my ground level plan. Come back up and I'm going to mimic the step at the back here. So we can select it, create similar, and we'll first place our run. We'll go to create sketch. First our boundary. Our step will be 240. Same on the back, 240. Create our riser, top and bottom, and our stair path as well, just right in the center. And what I want to do is extend that path past the corner of the building. by about 200 mil, so we have a nice step around the edge. So we'll select it, use the move tool, move it up by 200 mil. Same on the lower section as well, 200 mil. Green tick to finish, and green tick to finish again. So we're getting that pop up because the levels are not correct, so we'll select it. We'll go to our base level is set correct to ground level. Our top level is incorrect, so we'll change that to ground floor. Now if I go to my 3D view, there's our step. It is facing the wrong direction, so what we need to do is go back to the ground level, select it, hit the flip arrow, and then in the 3D view, it's in the correct location. I'll just delete the railing. So there we have our step going from the ground level up to the ground floor. So now we're going to close the ground level, come over to the ground floor plan. And we also have a step from our garage, which is on the ground level, up to our corridor, which is on the ground floor. So we'll do the same process. We will select our deck. And if we can't select it, go to select element by face, select it, create similar, go by rectangle. I'm just going to place it in and then come back and adjust the dimensions. So we have 1100, we'll change that to 1000 by 1200. Green tick to finish, and then the same again for the step. We'll go to create similar, boundary by 240. And we then have the riser and the stair path. Green tick, green tick. So again, we're getting the warning because the levels are incorrect, so we'll select it, put our base down to ground level, our top is ground floor. And if I go to my 3D view, so there's a couple of ways that we can see into the garage, so we can see that step. First thing we can do is we can select the roof, and if we come down to the glasses symbol in the view controls, that's our temporary hide isolate. If I select that, I can go to hide element, and now I'm able to see inside the garage. What I'm going to do is undo that so I can show you different ways. So if I select the glasses again, I can go to reset temporary hide. Another option could be changing our visual style over to wireframe, and now we can see inside again. But when I try to select or click anything, the roof gets in the way. So pull it back to consistent colors. The next way will be to go to the properties palette for our view. So press double escape there just to pull up the properties of the view. We can then scroll down to section box, turn that on. And what that does is it puts a box around our house. Now what I need to do is select the box, and I get grips on every face of that box. And if I drag it back, it'll cut a section into our building. So there I can see the stairs, and I can also drag it down to remove the roof. So now I'm able to edit that step as I wish. So if I turn off the section box, and the other way I can show you would be to use the displace elements. So if I select the roof, I can come to the modify tab which appears, and here in the view section there we have displace elements. If I select that, it applies the gizmo to the roof. And what the gizmo allows me to do is move it in any direction, X, Y, and Z. So if I click on the blue arrow pointing up, I can actually drag that up out of the way, and I can now edit inside the building. And this will not affect the actual roof position itself. We can do all of our edits as we wish. And then to reset it, we just select our roof. We then go to reset, and it just puts the roof back down in the correct position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the roof, go to hide element, and I can then come into the garage. I'm going to select the railings and delete them, and we can see that the stairs needs to be flipped again. So just save the project when prompted. So I just need to flip the step. So I'll go to my ground floor and I can flip it, come back to the 3D view. And I want to delete out the stringers at the end of the step there. So I'll select it. I can double tap or go to edit stairs. Select the stringer, delete. Select the stringer and delete. Press green tick to finish. So if I wanted to keep the roof off the building for the remainder of the project and remove the blue or cyan color border around the view, I can go back to my temporary hide, isolate, and I can press apply to view. So now our roof is no longer on the building, but if I wanted to bring it back at any point, I would just select the reveal hidden element, select it, and toggle it back. So with the roof off, we were able to see our structural opening. So there is our structural opening with the wall on the top, same in the center section and to the rear as well. Come back to my ground floor plan. And the next thing I'm going to do is add in a chimney to the project. So in the center of the house here, we have this void here, and we're going to place our chimney here. To do that, I'm going to go to the Architecture tab, go to the Component tool, go to Load Family. And if I go back to my UK folder, I'll then go to the Generic Models folder, and there I have Generic Model Masonry Chimney Wall. So I'll press that, press Open. And then I just come into my wall void, and when it situates itself and it finds the center point, I'm going to click to place. So there we see that the chimney is sat in the void, and if I go to my 3D view, we see it also creates an opening in the wall for us. What we need to do is actually adjust the height of our chimney. So if I come back to reveal hidden element, there's our chimney stack, and it's now towering over our roof. What we want is about 1 meter from the top of our roof level. So I'm going to select my roof and go to unhide element and then close it down. So there we can see our chimney. It's pretty high from the top of our roof level. So I'm going to go to my east elevation. And we can't see the roof right now because of the way our elevation bubble or marker is situated on the plan. So I'll go back to my ground floor. There's my east elevation. If I click on the front of it, or the bubble, the beak of the bubble, you can see there's the start of my elevation and there's the end of my elevation. That's why we're getting it cut through our project like that. So I'll just drag it back to the far west side of the house. And now if I go back to my east elevation, we're able to see everything. And if I change that to consistent colors. So what I need to do is I need to adjust the height of our chimney. So first thing we're going to do is just select our levels and just drag them on the outer side of our project so they're nice and clear. And I'm going to place in a new level, but I'm not going to create a plan. So we have a couple of ways to do that. We can either select it, we can go to copy and just drag it up. And we notice that it is black while the levels with plans are blue. So our level 3 is black, and you'll see in our project browser, it is not created. So we don't have a level 3 in our project browser. So why we would create these levels is for scenarios